Welcome to Kung Fu Habit number 2. This is the last video. Now this video is going to be slightly crazy and psychotic, possibly might get me arrested and thrown in the psych ward. No, I'm sober because I'm not the only one. So here's the thing. I do not know if I'm the victim of the Mandela effect or if I'm sliding through dimensions. For those who do not know what that means, I'm not talking about sliders like that sliding through dimensions, like the earth shifts and I wake up. I'm the same guy, I'm just in a different universe where everything is exactly the same except for my memories of what is going on. Like, alright, the prime example is Back to the Future. Marty McFly remembers all the stuff and he has to be caught up to speed with the current stuff. The shit that he changed. Because he doesn't remember that shit. Someone else fills him in and then his memory will slowly materialize to catch up with the timeline. If that doesn't make sense to you, let's try it one more time scientifically. Let's try it the Marvel way. Your past is your future. Your future is still your present. Alright? So if you put the Infinity Stone exactly back at the same point in time that you took it, everything that you did before, you still remember. Everything that currently stays on that timeline is changed. Okay? Hopefully that made some sense. Where we can try it the Star Trek way. Everything that you've changed, everyone else remembers that timeline, but you don't because you changed the timeline. Alright? Are we clear? Now let's talk about the Mandela effect. In fact, let's Google that shit. So this way everybody can hear the definition, hopefully. The Mandela effect. This is the Bella effect. What the fuck? The Mandela effect.
According to Wikipedia, Mandela effect. False memories can sometimes be shared by multiple people. This phenomenon was dubbed the Mandela effect by paranormal researcher Fiona Broom, who reported having vivid and detailed memories of news coverage of South African anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s.
When did Nelson Mandela actually die?
December 5, 2013. According to History Channel, South African President Nelson Mandela dies at 95. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela, the former activist who overcame a nearly 3-decade prison stint to become president of South Africa, passes away after years of struggling with health issues. He was 95. Our nation has lost its greatest son.
Okay, so y'all got that? The Mandela effect. What is the Mandela effect? See, it won't give me the damn definition again. What's the Mandela effect? Okay, see, I wanted it to replay the audio that just played. And I don't know how to go back. Let me see. Okay, let's see if that does it. Nope, that doesn't do it. Monopoly Mandela effect. Never heard of that. Okay, that's about the guy with the optical, or whatever the hell, you know, the thing, the monocle. Because I remember him having the monocle, and they're saying that he doesn't. I remember Looney Tunes being spelled differently too. So we'll go with that. I remember Looney Tunes being spelled like this with the TU instead of the TOO. Fruit Loops is another good example of the Mandela effect. Let's see if they got it. They got the Flintstones. So that almost looks the same to me. Okay, so it has 2 T's in one of them. Alright. I remember 1 T, but I don't know which one's right. Alright. Now let's see, do they do Fruit Loops? I remember the hyphen in Kit Kat. Yeah, it can't. It won't show it by itself. There it is. It might. I remember the black thing on Pikachu's tail too. So when you get to watch this video, just go back and listen to the Mandela effect part. I'm gonna try to get the definition again. What's the definition of the Mandela effect? It won't play the motherfucker. Who's responsible for the Mandela effect? This is not what I said. What is the person that discovered the Mandela effect's name?
According to Wikipedia, false memories can sometimes be shared by multiple people. This phenomenon was dubbed the Mandela effect by paranormal researcher Fiona Broom, who reported having vivid and detailed memories of news coverage of South African anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s.
Okay, so now y'all heard it this time. It took me forever to get this shit back. Now y'all see why Google and shit's not my fucking friend. So, knowing the Mandela effect and me giving y'all those pictures and shit, because I remember Fruit of the Loom's underwear having the horn thing and the fruit coming out of it. I'm not alone, but when you look at Fruit of the Looms now, there's no horn, and people have said there was never a horn. It's like, no, I remember the horn. I remember the horn because I think Fruit of the Looms made underoos. Let's find out. Who made underoos underwear?
Larry Weiss. According to Wikipedia, underoos were developed as a product idea in 1977 by an independent entrepreneur, Larry Weiss, who obtained licenses for the four major comic character groups, which included Superman, Batman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Spider-Man, and Captain America.
Okay, but that didn't tell me who made them. But it tell me who got the design. Okay, let's go back to fucking underoos is like superheroes, man. For whatever idiot. Okay. What company distributed underoos? God damn it! Who the hell is Andrew distributing? What brand of underwear distributed underoos? It's showing me underwear, y'all. It ain't showing me underoos, but it's showing me underwear. Let's see. The Wikipedia part. Fruit of the Loom. Like I said, it's Fruit of the freaking Loom. It's written there in bold letters, but y'all can't see the shit because, there we go. But it's Fruit of the Loom. Show me Fruit of the Loom from the Mandela effect. This motherfucker has photos of John Lennon. That is not what I said. Mandela effect pictures of Fruit of the Looms. Okay. Now, this is the point that I'm making. If you see this one on this side over here, there's the fucking horn. And on this side, there's no horn. Let me see if I can find an actual picture that I can blow up. That's a little better. How about this one? Alright. So, Fruit of the Looms. I remember the one over here. All my life, I've remembered that. They said that's wrong. They said this one over here is the right Fruit of the Loom. So if you guys remember this, we may be from the same fucking universe. That's why I said universe sliding or the Mandela effect, which is why I brought up Jillian. I don't remember her last name, but I remember her first name is Jillian, which is why I also don't remember if she's real or not. And I was in kindergarten, and she was part Eskimo and part white. All right? You don't need to know anything other than she was part Eskimo and part white. And us mixed people, sometimes we have a knack for finding each other, but I haven't found Jillian, and I'm 49 now. So God only knows where she is and if she existed at all. Which is why I brought up the Mandela effect in the previous two videos, because I'm like, look, I don't know if I'm sliding through universes. I don't know if I'm a victim of the Mandela effect. What I do know is that when I got my kindergarten grade book and the photo thing out, she's not fucking there. All the white girls there look like they were white girls, and she's not black. So the black girl in kindergarten, whose name I don't remember, Jillian, is the only person in kindergarten whose name I remember. So I do not know if she was a fiction of my imagination, if I'm a victim of the Mandela effect, or if I'm sliding through universes, and she could have been the love of my life, and I slipped through universes. So maybe I quantum leaped the shit out of stuff, and I have no idea where she is, and if she really existed. So I want you guys to think about that shit, because if the Mandela effect, and I remember certain things about Fruit of the Looms, and everybody else is no, I don't remember that. It's like, okay, then we might not be from the same universe. I may be sliding universes, and there's nothing I can do about it, because there are things that I can remember that people are like, no, no. So I'm gonna drop this. This is gonna tell me Freddie Mercury died in the '90s. I remember Freddie Mercury dying in the '80s. All right. What year did Freddie Mercury from Queen die? This thing says November 24th, 1991. I wasn't in high school when Freddie Mercury died. I was in high school when Brandon Lee died, but I wasn't in high school when Freddie Mercury died. This says November. I remember Freddie Mercury dying in the 80s, like 85, 86, because I was still living at 811 E. Hardy Drive. And by the time 1991 came, we were in this house. And I was like either in the 9th or the 10th grade. I can't remember. It had to be the 10th grade, I think. Because I graduated in 93. So it had to be the 10th grade. But I swear to God, I remember Freddie Mercury dying in the 80s from AIDS. This thing here says Freddie Mercury born FARROKHBULSARA, September 5th, 1946, died November 24th, 1991, was a British singer and songwriter who achieved worldwide fame, led the vocalist of the rock band Queen. Alright? Now, I don't remember him dying in 1991. I remember him dying between 85 and 86, not too long after Flash Gordon and the Highlander came out, because he did the soundtrack for the Highlander, and then he was gone. And then 2 or 3 other Highlander movies came out, and Queen weren't on the soundtrack of those motherfuckers. If they were, I don't remember it. Alright? Now, what year did the Highlander come out?
According to Cars.com, the Toyota Highlander debuted in 2001 as the 5th model in Toyota's SUV.
What year did Highlander the movie come out? Now y'all see why I don't trust it.
1986. According to Wikipedia,
86.
Highlander is a 1986 fantasy action-adventure film directed by Russell Mulcahy from a screenplay by Gregory Wyden, Peter Bellwood, and Larry Ferguson.
You ain't gonna go down the stars list of Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert, Roxanne Hart, and Clancy Brown? Yeah, I guess you're not. Anyway, 1986. I swear to God, I remember Freddie Mercury dying in 85 or 86 after this movie was done. Period. Because then I believe I started listening to Kid and Play. What year did Kid and Play song come out?
According to Wikipedia,
87.
Last Night is a single by the American hip-hop duo Kid and Play, released in 1987 via Select Records. It is their first single as Kid and Play.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm a victim of the Mandela effect or if I'm sliding through dimensions, but that was my use of thing, because I swear to God, I remember Freddie Mercury dying in the 80s. I do not remember him dying in the 90s because I was not in high school in the 80s. I was still living in the projects. And we moved over here like 89, 90. And I went to high school. 90, 91, 92, 93. Graduated in 93. I know Freddie Mercury had to die way before 1991. And now, again, I could be sliding dimensions and don't know how to stop it. And don't know when it's happening. But apparently, I'm the same person in every dimension. But everything else is different for everybody else. Because my memory of Freddie Mercury is living proof that I am a victim of the Mandela effect for sure. Same with the Fruit of the Looms, same with the Monopoly guy, same with the Game of Life. So that's the Mandela effect at its best. If you guys are having this issue, let me know. And sometimes I do feel like certain vibrations, but I don't know how to explain that shit. So it's not like an earthquake, but it's like a body tremor, and I don't know how to explain it, and I don't even want to go into that bullshit because I mean it could just be me having a shift in the earth rotation, and I might be one of those sensitive people that can feel that shit. After all, the earthquake that hit Charlottesville happened on my birthday, August the 23rd, way back when, and I haven't had any issues about my life since then. No, but the point being made is the Mandela effect affects your memory, false memories. So I'm like, okay, well, excuse me. How the fuck do I remember Freddie Mercury dying not too long after the Highlander movie come out and they announced about AIDS? Let's do one last thing and then I'm going to end this video. What year was the AIDS outbreak? Now this doesn't make sense. The peak of AIDS, 1995. It says HIV mortally rates the rose steadily through the 80s and it peaked at 1995. Declined significantly and adjusted to HIV, the death that have dropped over 80% since the peak, but almost 50% since 2010, largely due to the art, but also deceased HIV. I don't know what this word is. INCIDENC. So y'all know how I roll. When I can't say something, I just spell that shit out and let y'all have your best guess. What year did Freddie Mercury die from AIDS?
November 24th, 1991. According
See?
to Smooth Radio,
Still
on
didn't
November
change.
24th, 1991, Freddie Mercury passed away at his Kensington home, Garden Lodge, aged 45 from bronchial pneumonia due to AIDS-related complications.
Now you see where I'm fucked up at, right? What year was AIDS discovered?
According to KFF, the first cases of what would later become known as AIDS were reported in the United States, U.S., in June of 1981.
And now y'all see why I believe Freddie Mercury died in 1986 or 87, maybe even 85. Now, we're going to try this. What is the normal life expectancy of someone who has AIDS?
According to AIDSmap, many people living with HIV can expect to live as long as their peers who do not have HIV. Studies show that a person living with HIV has a similar life expectancy to an HIV-negative person, providing they are diagnosed in good time, have good access to medical care, and are able to adhere to their HIV treatment.
Before the HIV treatment, how long was the lifespan of people who had AIDS?
According to Healthline, in 1996, the total life expectancy for a 20-year-old person with HIV was 39 years. In 2011, the total life expectancy bumped up to about 70 years. The survival rate for HIV-positive people has also dramatically improved since the first days of the HIV epidemic.
So now y'all understand, when this shit first happened, most people that had AIDS, which this computer has not told me, most people never lived past 4 or 5 years. Some of them only lived 2 years. How long did people live with full-blown AIDS if they didn't catch it in time?
According to NCBI, left untreated, HIV is inevitably fatal, with a median survival time from seroconversion of 8 to 10 years, too.
Has anyone died with AIDS in less than 2 years? Now it's going to give me a stats instead of telling me. Actual life table, social security. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anybody dying with AIDS. Child mortality under 5 years with the World Health Organization. I got another one. How long did Ryan White have when he died from AIDS?
According to Ryan White HIV/AIDS program, HRSA, he gained national attention and became the face of public education about the disease. Surprising his doctors, Ryan lived 5 years longer than expected. He died in April 1990, 1 month before his high school graduation.
Yeah, so that's why I said I'm pretty sure Freddie Mercury died in like 86 or 87, possibly 85. What year did the Flash Gordon movie come out? Flash Gordon came out in 1980, which is why till this day I don't care what this damn thing says. I swear I remember Freddie Mercury dying between 84 and 86. But this thing says he died in 1991, which goes back to the whole Jillian thing of why I don't think she existed, or if she existed, I done slid out of her universe or her dimension, and here I am in this one. And I'm like, I don't really know how to explain it other than dimension slipping, or dimension sliding, or dimension hopping. I do know I don't have control of it if that's what's happening. So I'm just going to chalk everything up to the Mandela effect, because the Mandela effect seems more closer to reality than me sliding from dimension to dimension and nothing changing but me. And my memory is not changing. So to recap everything, it's like if I'm Marty McFly and I go to the past and I change some shit, which makes my future better, makes my family future better. My family's the only one who have the current memories, while I'm still remembering shit from the past. Now my memory will catch up, but my old memory of the old timeline will not be affected. So, that being said, I want you guys to think long and hard about this shit when you're watching it. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Are you here? Are you there? Are you a victim of the Mandela effect? Or are you sliding dimensions? Be seeing ya.